Listen, you guys, really quickly, I want y'all to understand something. That if you're a Sigma male out here, most of your haters are going to be alpha males. Okay? The males that are hating on you are going to be alpha males. And I want you to understand something. I'm not going to hold you too long. This is a very simple explanation as to why they hate on you. An alpha male dude is what do you consider? I mean, for someone to call themselves an alpha male is kind of crazy because they're pretty much known for being insecure. So you have an insecure person. Some of these guys are insecure from childhood trauma. Some of them, like I've said before, they're not really like, they're trying to embody the essence of a leader by calling themselves an alpha, but they're not. They're just betas that have ascended with money. And these guys, man, they get intimidated by you because they deal. These guys are like, you know, flies on the wall from the part until they get their money right. One the timers that say that. And these people, they pretty much fake it until they make it, and they're always fake, right? And then you'll come along and you'll be everything that their weird self has been faking. And you'll know this because I don't care what the alpha thinks they have going on. These people they're not really thinkers, man. They don't really come up with nothing. I've talked about people like this before, but some people don't come up with original ideas. Some people just steal other people's ideas and, make an amalgamation of different things that they steal, try to craft it together in their own little way. But alphas don't come up with nothing. They don't originate anything. They're just always trying to refine something that's already out there, or steal something that somebody else is already doing. And you have the ability to create. And they know they're a fraud. So basically what I'm saying is the reason why most alpha males problems with sigma males is they're a fraud, and they know that you know that they're a fraud, and it bothers them, it triggers them. You're the real deal. You can outsmart these people, where it takes a team of them to work together. And also remember, alphas need a group of people around them to feel strong. So they'll always click up with people whenever they get a ego wound, right? Maybe you say something or whatever that triggers them, they'll go click up, and it makes them feel safe. That's what sheeps do. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not really alpha. They're not really lead. They're just, like I said, upgraded betas that are faking it. And again, Sigma can always tell, man. Someone that's just out here putting on a mask and faking it. And we have ways of calling them out. And a lot of times we don't even know we're calling them out. We're just talking about fake people. But the shoe fits them. This is what they do. And a lot of them just aren't built or cut from the same cloth as you. I mean, we having some of these people. I mean, man, I've had fake alphas. Man, I've had men older than me, bald as a cue ball, right? Needing TRT and human growth hormone and Trembolone and all these different things just so they can get their, creakly bodies, decrepit bodies out of bed, trying to give me advice on what to eat and things of that nature. Why would your old ass? And then some of these guys, and it's no disrespect, but we're all different, right? I don't disrespect YT guys by assuming that your anatomy is the same as a Aboriginal black man. But, sometimes when, you just hear, if you're an older white man, I don't want to hear you talking to me about diet advice. Like, listen, let me tell you something. I'll take your diet advice when you get to go outside in the sun 2 days straight without, developing some type of skin cancer or something. I don't want to hear you guys. We digest food and eat different kinds of food. Like, we already know this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And again, that's what I'm saying. Like, some people don't even realize they're frauds until they meet a real one. And most Sigma males are real ones. And most of us just move in silence and kind of go about our way, but run into these people and they take little shots. But the problem is we take better ones. And we do it by ourselves. We don't click up or nothing like that. And what this causes, man, is an ego death. They get these ego wounds. These people, it really bothers them to see someone that's better than them in every way, and someone that can do it without. Because you always hear, it's how you always know an alpha or like a fake alpha. Like, they're always talking about networking and teaming up, right? Like, they made it into a thing to where they got everybody talking about you can't do nothing unless you network. Networking is always a great thing, but having fake people around you just so you have a network of people to get where you're going, I don't think that's a great thing to promote and to tell people to be like. But then again, I'm not that kind of person. That's why I say I'm Sigma or something like that, because I just can't. I can't get behind being around a bunch of fake people just to get where I want to be at. That's kind of like selling your soul. So, like I said, man, these people, man, they really don't know, and a lot of it is just they try to mask different things that they do, and you're able to call it out. Like, nah, you're covering up the fact that you can't come up with ideas. Nah, you need a team of people because you're not comfortable enough to handle things by yourself. You need the validation around you. When you start doing stuff like this, man, these people, they start feeling, because they got these different kind of ways they cloak it. Like, oh no, you need to have a network, and you and that network of people go out in the woods and play soldier. I don't have time to be no grown ass old ass man playing soldier. The time to be a soldier was, in your early 20s and your late teens, when the country calls for you to do it. I don't need to get online and fake like I'm some type of warrior. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no new jack bitch. I got rank. I wear my dog tags all the time. But a lot of these alpha guys, what they did was, when it was for them to serve their country or serve anything, they tucked tail, went to college or whatever. Then afterwards, and they get in a position of finance and clout, they start trying to act like they're just the toughest guy in the world. They always start talking about doing the martial arts, and they peacock. It's so tell these guys, they try to intimidate you through the peacocking. It's always some alpha dude, talking about I'm in the gym, and show some clips of them in the gym, highlights, and good shadowing. These guys will get so insecure, they'll post up shirtless pictures as a thumbnail. These guys are like super, and they're dangerous because they're insecure. So we keep our distance from them. And a lot of times they think they can mask, they are, and they come off a certain way, or tough, or a silent type. No, no. These are the same guys I'm talking about that try to come off, but they're not stoic. They just fake it. And then behind those doors are the most emotional people you've ever met. You can always tell, because these guys can't handle, like they'll be in there with women, and they can't handle it. They'll end up crashing out and out on the woman because they tried to play stoic, and the women started running over them. But they don't know what stoicism is. They think it's just acting nonchalant, with a monotone and kind of low. No, 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 no. That's not stoicism. That's not holding your frame. But they won't know that until they're taught that. An alpha don't know nothing until they're taught it. It's like a trained monkey. And when these guys see you move the way that you move, and call them out the way that they are, because when you say things, it shouldn't bother them, but it does bother them because it's resonating with them, because they know that's what they do. They know exactly what you're saying is what they do. They don't have any kind of clear thought of their own. They're always stealing ideas from somebody and then remarketing it as their own. They don't know how to think properly. They're always having to project weird stuff, right? They need cars and foreign cars to boost their testosterone. They need to get on drugs as soon as they possibly can, and they don't care about the side effects or them losing their hair. They literally will say, I don't care. I don't care. They don't care about how they look. These people, man, it's all about trying to get as much power as they can, what I'm saying, through clout, material gain, that they kind of lose themselves, and they never really had nothing to begin with, really. And they see you as a Sigma able to get it out the mud. That you don't care what anybody else thinks. That you wouldn't listen to their advice if their advice was what someone believed to be the advice that saved your life. People don't know what they're talking about. You don't listen to a fool talking foolishness. So see someone that looks like he's a kind of person that doesn't know how to think for himself, the way that he moves, it seems like he's just doing what everyone else is doing and stealing ideas from everybody else and surrounding himself with people to seem like he's, that guy, or, he really knows what he's doing. This is all a bunch of faking. With the alpha, they're always worried about someone figuring them out, man. I couldn't live like that, man. I gotta be who I am, man. I gotta do what I gotta do. But this is the reason why you intimidate them so much, man. They can recognize the real on you, and everything that they fake to be, you're really that guy. Everything that they're faking, you are that dude. It comes natural to you, and it bothers them. The attention you get from women, mainly that's what it really is. That's where the jealousy stems from. That's when they start studying you, when they notice you getting attention from women. A lot of these insecure fools are so goofy and stupid and low IQ. They will see you out here, and then they think that they're looking at someone foolish, and they're going to bring, the attention to some woman, or hey, look at this guy right here, he's goofy. Next thing you know, the woman's kind of looking at you, like she kind of likes you. You know what I mean? He brings you up to some women around him, like, what do you think of this kind of guy right here? Next thing you know, the women are listening to what you're saying, kind of getting into it. So now they brought the problem to themselves. Now they done shown, they're seeing that women like your archetype better than theirs. Now they feel like they're in competition with you. Made up. You know what I'm saying? No one's made them do anything. And these guys could have more money than you, more clout than you, but they're still a nobody. You're always going to have more influence. And these people, also, before I go, they also self-hate because they know that they're getting ideas from you. They know they've been getting ideas from you for at least a couple years. They know that they get ideas from you, right? So I won't care how old you are or how much clout you have. You're my son. You're stealing ideas from me. You've been stealing ideas from me for a couple years. You're my son. How can I get upset at anything that my son posts up or does? You're just a kid that's, lashing out like kids do. For you alpha guys to know that. And that's where I put you. In that category of my son. I don't take you too serious. I'm not supposed to. But I appreciate the attempts, like my kid, to try to get under my skin sometimes. Oh, bless your heart. Right? Bless your heart. You guys smash that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. The worst thing you can do is try to play mental games with a Sigma. I don't know, you alphas, you let your ego get in the way. And these insecurities are just projections. I want you to know you move like the single mother you more than likely was raised by. I'm telling you straight up right now, you alpha dudes act like you was raised by a single mother, and you're extremely emotional. I can read you like a book. You know what I'm saying? You're telling on yourself as to why you're insecure. You can see a real one. Thing about me makes you scared. You feel I can take your girl. You know I can take your girl, man. You know what I'm saying? And all this stuff, the items you've collected throughout the years, that from happening. Because you're still a fraud. You're still fake. And every woman around you, no matter how many properties you own, or cars you possess, and women know weak soul when they hear it. These alphas, they really can't even get that loud. When they do, they kind of crash out. They talk low because they have a weak spirit. There's no real bass in it. There's no real, you know what I mean? Like these dudes, and they can tell that you can tell this on them. There's nothing they can do to fake it or hide it. Anyway, you're not going to be able to stop these alphas from studying you and putting themselves in secret competition with you. It is what it is. But I want you to know that every time you show up and you show out, you teach these goobers a new lesson. There's just some people that are out of your league, and there's nothing you can do to knock them off their course, to try to trigger them, or to try to gaslight them. You ain't got the IQ for that. Anyway, y'all, love and